A very good evening to all, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Today is Thursday, 31st July 2025. So for the first time we shift the usual Thursday class from Pamasuri's house back to my SS2 place. So we'll conduct it through the Zoom. We will be following the usual Sunday's itinerary, the Heart Sutra. We are at page 150, the lesson 27, last paragraph. This is our reference book, Heart Sutra, second edition. Based on our earlier sharing, a series of short notes compiled from the weekly Heart Sutra meditation classes conducted by me in the year 2012 and 13, remember? Okay, as usual, we will have our physical puja, short one. Let us compose our mind, develop the Saddha, Virya, then mindfully we shall commence the puja chanting. 南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无本师释迦牟尼佛，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无观世音菩萨，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无阿弥陀佛，南无弥勒佛。南无弥勒佛，南无弥勒佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无药师佛，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无地藏王菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无普贤菩萨，南无佛菩萨。南无佛菩萨，南无佛菩萨。อะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวะพุทธังภะคะวันตังอะภิวาเทมิสุขะโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามินะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิดุติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิบุตตังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิธัมมังสรณังกัจฉามิตติยัมปิสังฆังสรณังกัจฉามิปานาติปาตาเวรัมมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิอาดินาดานาเวรัมมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิกาเมสุมิจฉาจาระเวรมณีสิกขาปะทังสมาธิยามิมุสาวาทาเวรมณีสิกขาปะทัง samadhiyami surameraya majapamadatana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, let us pay respect to Puja. Padang pujemi. Dhammang pujemi. Sanghang pujemi. This awareness-based meditation is very important because it's to allow us to realize our pure inner awareness nature within. And this is the true mind, our silent mind, the meditative mind that is capable of being just aware. In Mahayana they call it 觉性. It's just aware. That's why we call it the pure awareness nature. It is a nature that is all the time aware, whether you create thought or you don't create thought. When thought ceases, that nature becomes very clear. So this pure awareness nature, you need to stabilize it. Otherwise you cannot understand what that nature within is. People call it the true mind, the true nature. But it's not a being, it's just a nature. And that one you must realize it. You can only realize it when you are completely silent without thought. That's why awareness-based meditation is to lead you to that realization so that you can understand the teaching very clearly. In fact, the whole of the Mahayana teaching, they actually need you to have the understanding of that true mind, the silent mind, the pure awareness nature. That is the first hallmark of winning. When you can realize the first hallmark of winning, which is 无念的境界, the state of no thought within your nature, that is pure awareness nature. Then, when it comes to not only the 6 Patriarch Platform Sutta, when it comes to the Surangama Sutra, 楞严经, the core teaching is also to understand the 2 types of mind, to realize the true mind, and to develop the true samadhi. The Buddha called it the Surangama Samadhi, not the worldly thought-based energy field type of samadhi. So that shows the importance of awareness-based meditation. So remember the 4 support, especially the first 3. Relax into every mind state that arises. Then relax body and mind completely. Let the body and mind be what it is. Just relax into it. Then silence everything to maintain awareness. When you are silent without thought, the awareness nature manifests. That's why the second support is to stay with the awareness. That's why I say maintain awareness. Whatever arises within your 6 sense bases, just maintain awareness. Aware, finish. Aware, finish. Or aware, completely silent. Don't continue to think or perceive or create the aggregates of mind to manifest the thinking. The thinking mind is not your true mind. That one is thought-based, external manifestation, creation, not the absolute pure nature within. The absolute pure nature does not move, does not interact. It's just pure awareness. Whatever arises, aware, finish. Then the third support is to stabilize this inner awareness. When you are patient enough to maintain the awareness until the sankhara activity or the mundane thinking, the habitual mundane thinking, they slow down, and finally come to a complete stop. It's like for the first time you got no thought. Your mundane mind come to a standstill, like completely still. And if you are not curious, you will, for the first time in your life, experience that tranquility and stillness of mind, which is without any thought. That is the most beautiful thing for you to realize. That is that moment, even one moment, is precious, valuable, because it is a moment of pure thought, without greed, hatred, and delusion, pure, still, tranquil, just away. You can realize that. That is the beginning of understanding, beginning of progress. Then stabilize it. As you are able to realize the initial stillness of mind, tranquility of mind, without thought. Don't be excited, don't panic. Just rejoice and let it be. Then continue to let it stabilize. Whatever arises, stay at the heart, let it stabilize. Until it becomes very natural to you. Until your mind can just remain still, without any focusing or concentration, without doing anything. It's a free mind, without thought, without any support. It's just naturally tranquil and still, because you have developed the ability to be aware within. Then for those who have developed it, stabilized the inner awareness already, then you can move on to the fourth support, which is trust. Trust. Trust your inner nature to develop the meditative movement. Means no thought involved. You just relax, maintain awareness, silent, stay at the heart area. Then let that nature move on its own. Whatever you can detect, it will detect. Like your pulse of life, your heartbeat, or any vibration within your physical body, especially your heart area. There's a lot of pulsation. We call it the pulse of life. When your life force trigger of the pulse, we call it the heartbeat. That one can trigger of a lot of pulsation within your bodily activity. And when you are aware, you can detect them. Wherever your body has contact with anything, you can pick it up, the pulsation, the sensation. Then later on, when you develop the stability of awareness, then without any contact also, you can actually develop the ability to be aware of it, especially your own heartbeat. your own bodily pulsation is just silent. Then the awareness will pick it up. Then you let it move on its own. Whatever movement that arises from there, let it happen. Then if you are patient enough, all this will stabilize until we become very quiet, very still, like completely without pulsation, without any movement at all. Means your vibration, your heartbeat has become very, very fine, very, very quiet. It's like your heart doesn't beat at all. But that is because your inner awareness stability has not stabilized to the degree that you can still detect it. The very subtle breathing, the very subtle pulsation or heartbeat, later on will come back to you. Then you don't really need much activity or movement to develop the awareness. By itself, when you are silent, you will detect it. Then you can stay in that state. That is your meditative mind, your true mind. That one can meditate. That one can see things as they are. That one can be aware of all the mental activity and movement of the mundane mind, mundane activity, mundane reaction and stirring while you live your life, while you interact with nature, with the sense data within nature. May it be vibration, which we call sound, music, or whatever, or noise. Can be any type of noise, from the aircon, from the fan, from whatever that is vibrating, even my voice. Then you are a conscious being. Here we have this consciousness inside, together with the 6 sense bases. It can trigger off the 6 type of corresponding consciousness. Seeing, you can be conscious of what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, and what you tactily feel and think. So these 6 type of consciousness, they can manifest. But the moment they manifest, our habitual memory, thinking mind, we will perceive it through our knowledge, our memory. Then from there, your habitual thinking, based on your views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system, sometimes it triggers fear, phobia, etc., insecurity, because you accumulated all this. And you will create the stirring of the mind, the reaction to sense experience. That's why there is no peace. You will arise the 5 mental hindrance that will hinder your mind from entering the meditative state of inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness. That's why all these are the mundane activity or thinking that cloud your true nature, your true awareness nature, that will distract you and cause you to entangle onto them, chase after them. That's why this is not your true mind. This is your mundane thinking mind, which is dependent, originating, condition arising, causal phenomena. That's why the Buddha called it the mano. And everything that arises from there is the creation. That's why the Buddha said, mind is the forerunner of all things. Mind is chief. When mind arises, all things arise. Everything is created by the mind. That's why all these are mundane manifestation of mind, thereby triggering off the phenomenal world of consciousness and form. Then through your knowledge, through your mundane thinking, accumulated views, opinion, condition and belief system, you cling onto it, you grasp onto it, you interact with it, or you sometimes get excited over it. Then you attach, you cling, you give meaning. Then sometimes when things don't go your way, you develop the opposite, dislike, aversion. So your craving, there are positive and negative craving, attachment to positive and negative. And this creates duality within nature itself. And that's how you get lost in all this mundane thinking, mundane stirring, mundane reaction. And this is not your true mind. This is the distraction created by the illusionary world of consciousness. Illusion that arises from the pure awareness nature. When you don't have clarity of mind to see all these manifestations, then you cannot understand the illusionary world, the deluded thinking and manifestation. So all this is what awareness-based meditation can allow you to develop as wisdom and understanding, so that you are no longer gullible, no longer distracted by it, so that all this phenomenal world of consciousness and form will have no power over you, where you see them clearly. They exhibit the characteristics of anicca, dukkha, anatta. There is no reality. They are just dependent originating entity, phenomena. May it be physical, mental, or nature's phenomena. They are all mind-made. No reality. They come and they go. It's only through memory that living beings hold on to them and created the illusionary world, the illusion of false reality. In actual fact, there is no reality at all, where everything is mind-made, come and go, dependent originating, keep on evolving, manifesting. And it's not a permanent, unchanging entity where you can hold on to, grasp on to, cling on to, and say, this is me, this is I. That's why Sakkayaditi, self-delusion. The five aggregates of form and mind, they are empty, not you, not what you think. They are dependent originating entity. They exhibit the universal characteristics of impermanent, leading to attachment, suffering. If you don't understand this law, then because it's impermanent, it's not a permanent, unchanging entity. That's why it's anatta nature, empty nature. Everything just manifests, arises and passes away. After that is dead and gone. But through memory, we cling. We project our mind and create the illusionary time of past and present. The past is already gone, no more reality. Future, yet to come, also no more reality. So the past through memory, and the future, there is something not happening yet. These are illusionary time. The only apparent reality is the present moment. And moment to moment, life passes by. arise and pass away very fast, split second, is dead and gone. It's so transient, and there is only reality within life. So how real can life be? Pure awareness nature can see this, can awaken to all this, can develop the stability of wisdom within, so that it's no longer deluded, deceived, so that this sakkayaditi, self-delusion, can be rooted out, so that this understanding can manifest and allow cultivator of the way to liberate their mind. Okay, with that, I will allow you to meditate on your own. I will set the alarm for 30 minutes. Okay, you can slowly, mindfully come out of the meditation. Try to maintain whatever inner peace, inner calmness, and inner awareness that you have developed for as long as you can. This inner awareness nature, you need to learn how to stabilize it and understand what that thing is. Then see clearly that nature and find out for yourself what that nature is, what is capable of, and what are the characteristics within. Invocation to the Devas. In this universe, in the entirety, let the deities or Devas come here. Let them hear the good teachings of the King of Sages, which gives heaven and release, Nibbana. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. This is the time to listen to the teaching. Samanta Chakawalesu Atra Gachantu Devata Saddhamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sakamokadang Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Dhamma Savanan Kalo Ayang Badanta Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Iti peso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijacharana sampanno sugato lokavidu Anuttaro purisa dhammasarti Satta deva manusanang buddho bhagavati Swakato bhagavata dhammo Sanditiko akaliko ehipaseko opanaiko pajatang veditadbo vinohiti Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka Ujupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Yayapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Samicipatipanno bhagavato sāvaka sangho Yadidang chatari purisa yukani atta purisa pugala Esa bhagavato sāvaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anutarang Punyang Ketang Lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Earlier on, we have gone through the Surangama Sutra and developed the understanding of what the two minds are. The mind of enlightened one, how it is connected to their true mind with wisdom. So this understanding is very important. Then that true mind is our essence of mind, the unconditioned mind. So maybe I'll read the last paragraph, so we move it down. Mundane mind, this is not your true mind. This is your thinking mind, mundane thinking mind. This mind is dependent, originating, condition arising, causal phenomena. And how does it arise? It arises from our pure awareness nature. Because as a human being, we have this so-called 5 aggregates of form and mind. And the first aggregate is of course our physical body. And within our physical body we have the 6 basic senses. The 5 primary senses plus the brain, 6 sense bases. Then because of the consciousness trapped inside, upon contact of this sense basis with the mind and the sense data that manifest through our senses, it can trigger off the respective sense or consciousness and make us conscious. Conscious of what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we tactile feel and think. That's why I sometimes say, as a human being, we are a conscious being. We are capable of being conscious. We can become conscious of the world, conscious of whatever that manifests within our 6 sense door. So consciousness is a very powerful element of mind. And through consciousness, we can become conscious of things, conscious of phenomena. Then this consciousness is dependent, originating, condition arising, causal phenomena. Without causes and condition, the sense basis and the consciousness trapped inside, and the sense data that manifest, consciousness cannot arise. And this arising consciousness with its content become the thought, the 5 aggregate of form and mind. And that is our mundane mind, mundane thinking, mundane consciousness. So now I read to you, you listen attentively. Mundane mind is the deluded, heedless thinking mind, capable of false perception, cognition, memories, knowledge, views, opinion, conditioning, and false thinking, giving rise to karmic. That's why it's karmic related. The mental intention, everything they create karma. So this mundane mind is the one that clouds the living being's mind, even as human being ourselves. We arise a lot of heedless thinking, mundane perception, cognition, mundane mind state, views, opinion, conditioning, based on our accumulated memories, knowledge. So all this condition us into what we think we are. That's why this conditioning or so-called belief system or views, opinion that we accumulate and hold on to and carry, define us. That's why we are not really what we think we are. It's just a bundle of memories with its views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system and knowledge. Even your phobia, insecurity, everything. So this is what the mundane mind is all about, mundane thinking mind. And before one become enlightened, one is heedless because of sakkaya delusion. Without delusion, the false thinking or unnecessary mundane thinking need not arise. That's why I define it as the deluded, heedless thinking mind, capable of false perception. Perception is actually cognition. When you perceive something, you try to recognize it. That's why sometimes they use the word cognition. Then because it manifests through the brain, memory, thought need memories. That's why thought is response to memory. That's why that brain, which has all the memories, knowledge, everything, is capable of thought manifestation. That's why this thought is respond to all these memories, knowledge, views, opinion, conditioning, and the stirring of the mind, the reaction, come from that memory. And from there, karma is being created, basing on your wrong thought, that condition all the karmic activity. Wrong thought arises from wrong view. And what are wrong view? Sakkaya, self-delusion, is a major part of the wrong view. And because of sakkaya, there is a egoic based thought process. We call it the egoic mind, the egoic thinking mind. So this egoic mind will manifest the ego, the I and the me, and the self. So when ego arises, we believe deludedly that we exist, we are real. This form of mind is what we are. Then whenever that mind manifests feeling, may it be pleasant or unpleasant, good or bad, pleasant or unpleasant, this feeling, we cling, we grasp. We believe it belongs to us. I feel, therefore I am. Then you cling on to good feeling, happy feeling, pleasurable feeling, nice feeling, conducive, wholesome feeling. You don't like negative feeling, like extreme heat, extreme cold, painful feeling, unpleasant feeling. Especially now the weather is very hot, very humid. A lot of countries are experiencing the heat wave. Then, whenever causes and conditions are not so favorable, the extreme of climates, especially extreme cold. Too cold is also rather unpleasant. So all this will stir your mind, will condition the mind to react. Then without wisdom, we complain. As I hot also complain, too cold also complain. Then we deludedly cling on to feeling. Pleasant feeling, nice feeling, good feeling. Unpleasant, we tend to resist or reject, and we want to move away. Then when it comes to perception too, favorable, pleasurable perception, like beautiful phenomena, when you perceive the beauty of nature, the beauty of life, sight and sound, music, everything, through your senses. Beautiful and good perception, you cling onto it, you hold on to it, and you want it repeated through memory. And this is attachment, craving, clinging, grasping, possessiveness, etc. And this one are the result of the evil roots of greed. And it come about because of this ego. When you think you exist, the ego manifests the possessiveness, the desire, the craving to own things, to have things. That's why you develop selfishness, you develop possessiveness, you develop attachment, craving, clinging, grasping. Then the negative perception, the negative aspect of greed is the opposite evil root of greed. Something that you don't like, unpleasant, you reject it. We call it the evil roots of hatred. Hatred can take many forms: envy, jealousy, unpleasant dislike, violence, everything is part of the evil root of hatred. All your negativity of mind state. Then the last one is when you confront something you do not understand, then you develop fear, worry, anxiety. Then when you are entangled, you develop sorrow, lamentation. All these are the result of the evil root of moha or delusion, because you think you exist. That's why you trigger off through the ego, the greed, the hatred, and the fear. The fear is the main emotion of moha, self-delusion, sakkaya-ditthi. So they call it the greed, hatred, and delusion. Delusion is mainly self-delusion, delusionary. So self-delusion arises, and because of that, there is this possessiveness, the greed, the selfishness, the possessiveness, and the hatred, envy, jealousy, violence. All these are manifestations of the mundane mind as a result of the ego. And because of that, it creates karma, where the evil roots of greed, hatred, delusion, condition, karmic negativity. That's why you have to develop the Dhamma understanding to act accordingly. You have to act according to Dhamma understanding or wisdom, with right thought, right speech, right action that are free of the evil roots of greed, hatred, and delusion. That's why we need to arise the appropriate right effort to cultivate them, to develop the understanding of them. Then I will read on. After knowing what that mundane mind is, we have to know what are the aggregates of mind that are responsible for this mundane thinking. So mundane mind is the deluded, heedless thinking mind, capable of false perception, cognition, memory, knowledge, and false thinking. They are karmic related. They are basically your sankhara and sanya. Every moment you perceive through your sanya, you think through your sankhara, then you will react and stir your mind. That's why mind states. Everything manifests. So sankhara sanya are very active within for mundane thinking to arise. It constantly clings and grabs onto sense data. This is the characteristics of the mundane mind. Whereas the true mind is the silent, heedful mind, pure and clear, profound and bright. And this one is not a being. It does not interact, but is capable of awareness. It can be aware of what is going on. It can be aware of all the sankhara sanya, thought activity, mind state, all the five aggregates manifestation, everything that move, evolve and develop through the creation process. It is capable of being aware. It can be aware of sense data, thought, and it can also see things as they are. It can insight into phenomena and awaken. That is your true mind, your silent mind, your pure awareness nature. So see that, understand that, develop that. Then you will awaken. You will become different. This is the essence of mind, the unconditioned mind. It is neutral. It's just aware. Finish. It don't try to think, perceive, react, stir, comment, chatter, verbalize. It will not do all those things. That is the activity of the mundane mind. The one that chatter is the thought, not you. The one that verbalize is the thought, not you. The one that manifests the thought is also thought, is not you. The one that tries to know is also the thought, not you. The one that tries to meditate and do, acquire knowledge, become a cultivator, become enlightened, this is all thought. Whereas the pure awareness nature has no word, no name, no duality. The unconditioned is just that pure nature, awareness, capable of being aware through that silent awareness of what is. It develops the understanding, the wisdom. It understands how the mundane thinking through delusion get itself entangled, and how this mundane thinking, mundane activity, mundane stirring and reaction clouds the true nature, prevents observation to develop the wisdom and the understanding of the way things are, to develop the wisdom to awaken. So this part is very important. So now we move on beyond that to go to part 2. So after knowing what is the mundane mind and the true mind, now we move into 2.1, perception. As we all know, we as a human being is a conscious being, capable of becoming conscious. Conscious of what we see, hear, smell, taste, tactile, feel and think. And through this consciousness, we develop perception. When we become conscious of what we see, we can perceive within our field of vision, of seeing. Similarly for hearing, we can perceive what that sense data that give rise to the hearing consciousness. We can perceive it through the sound, or the voice, or the vibration, or the music, and all these things. So perception is the one that brings the external form into our mundane thinking, mundane mind. So this aggregate of sanya, which is perception or cognition, is very powerful, very important. But when we perceive, then through memory, knowledge, views and opinion, we entangle with it, we cling on to it, we give meaning. Then from there, we react with the habitual tendency that we have developed. The like and dislike, the pleasant and unpleasant perception. And this is false perception, not able to see things as they are. We see things based on our views, opinion, conditioning, and belief system. And our emotion manifests based on that wrong view, wrong thought, and wrong way of perceiving things. That's why we become emotional. We develop emotion of like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant. Then we create all the duality to entangle ourselves, for us to grasp, cling. And all this is what Sakayaditi is all about. Self-delusion. So sanya, perception, brings the external form into the mind via our mental perception. And it is also called the sixth consciousness. So this one is based on the Mahayana's definition. As I have taught you all before, as a human being, we have our 5 basic physical senses. Maybe I write it down, easier for you all to learn and understand. So as a human being, we are a conscious being. We are capable of arising the 6 types of respective sense door consciousness. So the first 5 basic consciousness, they are our eye, EYE, that manifests the seeing consciousness. Then we have the ear, that manifests the hearing consciousness. Then number 3, nose, smell consciousness. Then number 4, tongue, taste consciousness. Then last one is our skin, tactile consciousness. So these are the first 5 basic consciousness. Then the 6th consciousness is common to all. Because in order for us to perceive, we need this 6th consciousness. So common to all the senses. So this one is called perception. Perception. Or what we call sanya. And this is the common denominator. For each and every of these consciousness to arise, there must be this aggregate of perception. Otherwise, it's just the pure consciousness. Like the Buddha said, in the seeing, it's only that seeing consciousness, no one to see. But the moment the perception comes in and input the content, which is the external sense data or external form, it takes it in and introduces it within your seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, smell, taste, tactile, and thought consciousness. So the last one is this common to all is the thought consciousness. So this thought consciousness is the 6th consciousness. And this one is very important. That's why the Buddha included it. So sanya brings the external form into the mind via mental perception, and it is also called the 6th consciousness. So now you know the first 5 basic senses: seeing consciousness, hearing consciousness, smell, taste, tactile, and the 6th one is thought consciousness. So this thought consciousness is common to all. You need the thought to perceive, otherwise it cannot arise. So before the perception comes in is the pure consciousness. It's just like what the Buddha said, in the seeing, it's only the seeing consciousness. Like the physics experiment, upon contact, the light bulb lights up. Means the lighting up means you become conscious. Conscious of what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you tactile, you feel anything. And this is how you become conscious of the world. This is how you know the world and interact with the world. This is how you function as a human being. These are basic self-knowledge, understanding of who you are, what you are. But this so-called human being, the five aggregate of form and mind, is not a permanent, unchanging entity where you can cling on to, grasp onto and say, this is me, this is I. That is Sakayaditi. So the first Noble Truth, final summary, the Buddha summarized all of suffering as Sakayaditi, that condition wants to grasp and cling onto this five aggregate of form and mind, the so-called human being and the thought process, thinking that it is you, it is real. So that part is very important. Then the external form then becomes the mental form or sense data for the mind to arise. The mental consciousness, because mind is also an organ. So I draw here. Yeah? So what is happening is like the physics experiment. So upon contact, this light bulb lights up. It means you become conscious. So what happened is, this six aggregate or six consciousness, sanya, this one become the sense data. Then this bulb is actually the organ. So for the first six types of sense door consciousness, we already know. This organ refer to the eye, ear, nose, tongue, skin, and the memory or the brain. But when it comes to the eight consciousness, the same thing, similar thing manifests. So here you listen attentively. Yeah? So the sense data is a six aggregate. Six consciousness. So this six consciousness that brings the external form into the mind become the sense data for the seven aggregate. So this organ at the thought level is the seven consciousness. This seven consciousness, sometimes they call it the discriminative consciousness. Where this one with views, opinion and conditioning, it will create discrimination, like and dislike, pleasant and unpleasant, good and bad, based on your views, opinion, conditioning and belief system. So what happens is, when the sense data come in through your perception, whatever you perceive through your memory, which is inside your brain. So this one is mainly your brain activity, with its accumulated views, opinion and conditioning. So this brain activity is the one that discriminates. Then, like the physics experiment, upon contact, the light bulb lights up, means this thought consciousness light up. Then he input the discriminative consciousness, input the content of consciousness. So this one input the content of consciousness, thereby creating the thought. So the thought, which is the second aspect of the five aggregate of form and mind, arise. So this is how it manifests. And this one is what they call the eight consciousness. Sometimes they call it the alaya consciousness or storehouse consciousness. So hopefully you can develop the understanding. Huh? Okay? So 2.2, go up. Okay, so this seven consciousness is Sankara. all of your mental activity, mental stirring, reaction, mental states, mental intention, including the mental formation, everything that your mind can do is sankhara. And that is your seven consciousness, your accumulated knowledge, memory, everything. So this seven consciousness, which is sankhara, thought activity, which include feeling and perception, is likened to the mental organ. And upon contact with mind via the respective mental activity of sankhara, triggers of the eight consciousness, which is the alaya or storehouse consciousness, vijnana. So that's how it manifests. In fact, basically, the Mahayana's eight types of consciousness are no different from the five aggregates of form and mind, except they put it in such a manner like easier to understand and easier for cultivator of the way to develop the understanding. But sometimes it's also subdivided until as if it's very impressive. Like they used to say, Mahayana got 8 types of consciousness, no? Whereas under Theravada tradition, what do you have? We only got 1 type, but we have a few names for that type. So there are 3 Pali words that the Buddha used. The first one is vijnana. Vijnana is actually the pure aggregate. The third link of Paticca Samuppada. Based in the seeing, there is only the seeing consciousness. That one is vijnana, pure aggregate, pure consciousness, the seeing consciousness. Then the hearing, the smell, taste, all those things, that one is vijnana. Okay? Then the second name is mano, for mind. Mano. Mano is our mundane mind, thinking mind, condition arising mind, the manifestation from the pure awareness nature. From there, thinking arises. That's why mundane thinking, thought, emotion, everything that your mundane mind can do, all your sankhara activity, your planning, scheming, even your daydreaming, your views, your opinion, your accumulated knowledge, phobia, everything, insecurity, everything that you accumulate, that constitutes your sankhara, your thought activity. So this thought activity is the mundane thinking mind, or they call it mano, so I write here. This one is the pure vijnana. This first 6. These are the pure vijnana. Then mano is the mundane mind, mundane thinking mind. Then the last one is citta. This citta is what we call the thought, or what we call the pure vijnana and its content. Once the content went in, it becomes a thought. So this one is equals to consciousness plus its content. Once you input the content into the pure consciousness, then it triggers off the thought. And this is your second aspect of your 5 aggregate of form and mind. So hopefully with this, it will explain the whole of the 8 types of consciousness and the thought manifestation that you need to understand. Okay, so don't worry, the whiteboard one, no need to write down. I will take a shot later on. Okay, we go back to the notes. So now we have completed the 8 types of consciousness and the 5 aggregate of form and mind. So hopefully with this explanation, you can develop the understanding better. Then when it comes to this coming Sunday's class sharing on the Surangama Sutra, it will be a lot easier for you to develop the understanding. Then today I sent out some video, I think yesterday and today. You listen to it, it is very helpful. For those who know Mandarin, it's really helpful, beautiful. But don't worry, there is one part, the short version one, where I sent out earlier on. That one, I think Puan Chee has managed to get a transcribe apps to help translate it, and it's quite accurate, quite close. So I'll read to you and I will share to you. The other one, Puan Chee asked me to do a transcript for the benefit of those who don't understand, but I say it's too long. So now I read this one, it becomes very easy for you to understand, right? So this Sunday Surangama Sutra, this is the essence that is captured. The other one, long-winded one, is trying to explain to you a lot of words. But the problem with Mandarin is our Mandarin way or expression is so different from the English language. So the other one that Puan Chee did with the transcribe app is totally out because he did a direct translation, word for word, from Mandarin to English, and the meaning completely run, completely not there at all. That's why I told her, just let things be, unless somebody who is quite good at the Dhamma. Maybe Eng can try, I don't know whether she got time on her, and try to put it into translation. Otherwise, just let it be. Because that one, he gave a lot of explanation and example, which are actually quite good in developing some form of understanding. But sometimes too much of this explanation may create more confusion. So this one, the concise one that I sent out on, is very well translated here. So now you listen. He said, when you truly understand the Surangama Sutra, means Leng Yan Jing, you will realize that the entire universe lies within your single thought, because they are all mind-make. Have you ever doubted the reality of everything you see and hear through your mundane perception, your mundane mind? Have you all ever doubted the reality? You think it's real, very real? Everything you see, you open your eye, everything within the field of vision, like exists already, real. You close your eye, what happened? Gone, no more. It's because of your ability to become conscious, provided your eye is normal. If your eye is not normal, what you perceive and see may be blur, or without color, or something else that manifests. That's why these are all phenomenal worlds, created via consciousness. Mind make are they, not what you think. This moment you see, next moment you don't see. So who see? What see? It's just the consciousness that manifests through the mundane, dependent originating creation. It's like the cinema show in the cinema. It's just a white screen with the light and sound coming into play. Then with the color manifested. And you perceive it like very real. Sometimes you can be so emotional over what happened. It can even make you cry or laugh or fearful. And all these are manifestations from our mundane consciousness, our thinking mind. So have you ever doubted the reality of everything you see and hear? I like to use the word seeing consciousness is because the moment you open your eye, it's like you are the greatest magician. You created all this, existed. But the moment you close your eye, no more. If you don't have a memory to hold on to it, they don't exist. Understand? No? As real as they can be, it's just an image manifested. Then you have a mundane mind with the knowledge, with all the accumulated views, opinion, conditioning, learning, and belief system. You perceive it, and you cling and hold on to it based on your views, opinion, conditioning, and accumulated memories. And this is what it is, not what you think. Mind make our day just an image, come and go. How real can they be? They are just consciousness, come and go, come and go. When you cease to exist, where is the world that your mind, through memory, through mundane thinking has created? It ceases to be. That's why the Buddha said, within this phantom land body of ours, along with perception and thought and mindfulness, he proclaimed the world, the cause of arising of the world, the cessation of the world, and the path that leads to the cessation. That's how the Four Noble Truths can be realized through this phantom land body of ours, with the five aggregates, with the four foundations of mindfulness within. And all these are very beautiful expression of truth and understanding that the Buddha has awakened to. That's why the short note continues, he said, the Surangama Sutra is more than just a scripture or a Mahayana Sutra. It is a key that can unlock the forgotten door of what? The forgotten door to awareness within you. Means your pure awareness nature. This is the teaching that can help you, provide you with the key to unlock the forgotten door to that pure awareness nature. Each and every living being, not only human being, we have this pure awareness nature, which is the first to manifest at the moment of birth. Every being has it. Then this is the pure awareness nature that is capable of developing the wisdom, the understanding, and allow you to return to your true nature, the source within. Just like this one, once the wisdom is there, it will awaken, it will cease. Then the cessation of form and mind lead to the realization of Nibbana. Then you will understand what that source is, what that original nature is. And from there, everything becomes clear. No more delusion. Then the awakening can transform the form and mind that has developed that cultivation and awakening. So this is what the Surangama Sutra is capable of. It's not just a sutta or a scripture, but it's also the key that can unlock the forgotten door of awareness, pure awareness nature within you. Why is it forgotten? Because since birth until now, like I explained to you all in the early days, what have you accumulated? You only know of one mind, the thinking mind, the mundane mind, the emotional mind, the reactive stirring mind that is capable of a lot of fear, worry, anxiety, argument, confusion, affliction, suffering. The one that actually create a lot of discrimination within the world, misunderstanding, conflict, argument, war. Whatever that manifests, whether through the karmic law or karmic process, they finally end up as suffering if you don't have the Dhamma understanding and wisdom to awaken. Then I continue. In the sutta, the Buddha explained that your true self, here he used the word true self, is actually your true mind, your true nature. That true nature within you, which is a pure awareness nature, is not a being. And that one is also not your body, nor is it your thought that comes and goes, but rather that all perceiving nature within, which is eternal, indestructible, neither coming nor going, possessing infinite wisdom and energy, means the pure energy. Have you lifted the will that obscure your Buddha nature? The will, V-E-I-L, that obscure your Buddha nature is all your thinking, your chattering, your verbalization, your thought emotions, your views, opinion, and conditioning. When you are lost in thought, heedlessly thinking, reacting, stirring, then you lost yourself. Your pure Buddha nature, your pure awareness nature, that beautiful bright nature without thought, without duality, without suffering, that pure, tranquil, still mind. That's why it is that true mind which is tranquil and still, without thought. That is your pure awareness nature. That is your pure nature that is ever shining with all that clarity, understanding, and wisdom. See that, realize that, and stay with that. Then you will awaken. You will understand all this creation and manifestation. Then you will not be deceived and deluded by the thought, by the mundane thinking and emotion, by the wrong view, sakkayaditthi, wrong view and wrong thought. And all this will fail to have power over you when you really see clearly through your pure awareness nature. That's why here the question asked is very good. Have you lifted the veil of ignorance that obscure your Buddha nature, your thought and emotion, your sankhara activity? When you understand the Surangama Sutra, you realize that they are all just an illusion. That's why it's the illusionary world, existential world, phenomenal world of consciousness and form. This existential world is an illusionary world. Yeah. And this illusion, you must see through the five aggregate of form and mind. Where it's just like magic, image. The Buddha called it consciousness is like a great magician, illusionist. A magician is an illusionist that create illusion for you to see. So your five aggregate of form and mind, the aggregate of vijnana, is actually the greatest magician. That's why I say through seeing, the seeing consciousness, you are the greatest magician. You create everything within your field of vision. Exists already, arise already. All of the world of hearing, also same. May be music, beautiful voice, sound, everything. Smell, taste, tactile. And the thought, consciousness that manifests. So all this is what the teaching is all about. Then he finally summarizes it. The true power lies not in the external world, but in whether you can return within and see the eternal unmoving true mind that has the clarity, the pure awareness nature, the unmoving, the one that is primordial. It existed before thought. It was there all the time. To understand the Surangama Sutra is to understand yourself, means self-knowledge. Through this pure awareness nature, you develop the understanding of who you are, what you are, and how you actually manifest as a living being. So the understanding of who you are, what you are is very important because it is self-knowledge. And you are not what you think you are. The human being is not you. They are just a fine aggregate, karmically conditioned out for you to come to this existential world, to live life, to experience life, to go through the karmic process, to develop the cultivation, the perfection, and develop the wisdom, so that life after life, whenever you arise, you can have this understanding, so that life become meaningful, so that existence become meaningful. That's why when you realize this teaching through emptiness, when you penetrate through emptiness, then existence become wonderful. In the Mandarin description is very good. 真空妙有. After you have penetrated through emptiness, which is 真空, then existence become wonderful, beautiful, amazingly beautiful. 妙有. You is existence. 妙 is extremely wonderful. Yeah. Very, very wonderful. Yeah. Okay? Okay, we come back to this second session. So second session is meditation reporting, followed by Q&A, question and answer session. And we can also discuss today's topic, which is very good, about the 8 types of consciousness, the 5 aggregate of form and mind, and the short summary of the Surangama Sutra. Go back and listen to this recording again when it's out. It will help you develop a lot of understanding. Now it seems there is condition for us to penetrate the deeper aspect of the teaching, which is mainly the supreme vehicle teaching regarding the true mind, the pure nature, the pure awareness nature within.
Mrs. Amita， 今天的课非常好。
哇，非常好，是哦。exceptional，
对，非常好，对我而言是一个非常好的一个 revision， 而且加深了我对这个 8 types of consciousness 的认知，就是认识它。I mean， 怎么说？这个 message change language， 可以吗 ？Brad 听到吗？
听到，很 clear，very clear。
我也不懂要讲什么，但是我是知道Surangama Sutra 是非常的 details 的给我们认识这个所谓的我们的心，所谓的true mind。我最近在 reflect Brother Dio 讲的那个 Four Circle 跟阿松的，是我们我逐渐的明白到，从我们怎么样的去 conscious， 就是说从我们怎么样说，就是我们怎么样的 conscious， 然后
how we become conscious of life. Then before 那个 conscious mind manifests into thought process, thinking through the senses, you will be able to see them through your awareness nature. Then you understand clearly how you function as a human being. Then you start to understand who are you, what are you, and what is that which is beyond the 5 aggregate. That's why in the early days, 如果你们 can recall, I always try to guide you all and teach you how to investigate within. When I share you all the 5 aggregate of form and mind, If these 5 aggregate of form and mind, like what we have gone through and I have proven to you, they are impermanent, they are not real, not you, not what you think. Even feeling is the same. Feeling come and go, you didn't die. So how can feeling be you? If feeling is you, pleasant feeling change to unpleasant feeling, you should die with it, isn't it? But you didn't die. So feeling come and go, arise and pass away, you didn't die. That's why feeling is dependent originating, not really intrinsic within you. That's why it's the mundane mind, it's not within your true mind. Then perception also come and go, you didn't die. So how can perception be you? Similarly, sankhara, all of your thinking, your emotion, your thought process, your planning, your scheming, your various mental formation, mind state, they come and they go. Your views, your opinion, conditioning, belief, they come and they go, and you didn't die. Consciousness is the same, arise and pass away. One consciousness, seeing, hearing, smell, taste, tactile, and thought process. They arise and they pass away, they come and they go, but you didn't die. So if they are not you, I ask you to inquire, then why did they arise in you? They arise in you, and yet they are not you. Then who are you? What are you? You remember this inquiry? That's why that is to guide you to realize your pure awareness nature. Beside these 5 that manifest from the pure awareness nature, that is the one you should investigate and try to realize. That's why the pure awareness meditation is to realize that pure awareness nature which is beyond thought, beyond mind. That is your primordial nature, like the sun's ray, ever radiating, but because it's clouded by your mundane thinking, you get yourself entangled with the mundane consciousness, the phenomenal world of consciousness, existence. That is the one that clouds you, your emotion, your thought process, your verbalization, your attachment to all the views, opinion, conditioning, belief system, and manifestation of your mind through consciousness, the great illusion. And all this create the obscuring of your pure awareness nature. That's why you get lost into the thought process, the thinking world, the world of thought, phenomenal world of thought and consciousness. And you deludedly grasp and cling on to all this, believing that you are a human being. The thought that you arise, you are the thinker behind the thought. You are a permanent, unchanging entity that has a life that you can live and decide, and you can manifest in whatever manner or form you might want to. So all these are illusions that you never see, because you never return to your original nature, original state of pure awareness nature before the thinking, before the stirring, before the reaction and manifestation. So return to the pure nature, to witness all this, to see and understand all this. Then the teaching will become very simple, and you will become like the Mahayana analogy. You are the host, the innkeeper, the owner of the inn, the host. Whereas the guests of the inn or hotel, they come and they stay for a while. And for our 6 cent, they stay for a split second, then they are gone. So see, the host is always there. Means your pure awareness nature is always there, never cease even for a moment. So that one which own and can see clearly who come, who go, and what they do, that is your true mind, your true nature. That is the one that is capable of unfolding the reality within life. That's why you can see things as they are. The silent mind that observes what is. The silent mind that observes what is the wisdom that will arise. And that is meditation. So meditation is the silent inner awareness that is aware of what is the reality that manifests, that see things as they are. Suchness, tathata. So all this, they are very beautiful description of what that thing is. But to realize that thing is more important than all the idea and the knowledge. Don't try to understand through the thought. You can try to develop the understanding later, but silence your mind and realize it. The moment you realize it, you awaken. Then that thing becomes very easy. Otherwise, through the thinking process, the thought process, it's very difficult to realize that which is beyond thought, beyond mind. So, develop the cultivation, stabilize your inner awareness, and when you develop the understanding and awakening, then all the sharing becomes so beautiful, so meaningful. That is what you should do. And now Alicia, they can appreciate all this, which is very good. Alicia, back to you. 很好。
是因为就是我 compare 我以前的 Sankara full of Sankara 跟现在是不一样的嘛。
Yeah, totally 不一样的咯。
是不一样的，因为很多时候我们就处在那个没有 thinking，别人什么你好像有一个 understanding， 你就是
不需要想。
对
就不需要。Most of the time you are just aware. And 那个六根很清净的 ，very quiet one. Not agitated one. 什么东西都是一样的，它是如不动。The one that 动 is your 念头 is your thought process, your thinking. And that one can stir your emotion and make you miserable. Whereas that one, the ever shining, the unconditioned, the pure awareness nature, it doesn't stir, it doesn't react. That's why it has got no emotion, no problem at all, no suffering, nothing. It's just that pure, tranquil, still mind. So beautiful, so wonderful. The Mandarin word 如如不动 is very good. 如如 means that nature is like suchness. 如如 如如 is from the word 如来, the Buddha. So the Buddha is called the Tathagata. Tathata is suchness. So 如如不动 means is thus unmoving. Thus is another word for tathata. Thus unmoving. Thus is the way things are. 如如不动. So stay with that nature. That nature understand. It want to manifest, it can manifest. It want to develop whatever, it can arise. But without causes and condition, it will not do anything. It is just the understanding that manifests. And whatever arises, they know, not so real, not what you think. But this is an illusionary world, phenomenal world of consciousness. He know you, he know me. Not what living being think. And that one illusionary, The Dhamma Sutra description also very beautiful. 一切有为法, everything within the conditioned world is condition arising phenomena. 有为法, 如梦幻泡影, is dreamlike, illusory. 幻 is illusory. 泡 is like a bubble. Arise, pop, gone. Yin is like shadow moving around, no reality. Chasing after your own shadow means your own delusion. The shadow every time follow the whatever form that reflect the shadow behind. Whereas chasing after your own shadow is like chasing after your own delusion. You cannot catch it, you cannot find it. It may be seen on the floor, but you cannot catch it because it's dependent originating, condition arising. And the shadow is not you. It's just a condition for it to manifest. And the illusionary world is very powerful. You must understand the illusion created by your senses. Your six type of sense or consciousness. They are really like magician, illusionists. So develop all this understanding, then see it clearly and awaken. Then you become very beautiful. 很好, Alicia.
就因为如果我们没有 arise any， 就说我们处在那个只是 aware 的话，其实我们根本好像不能
没事的
比方说你不能在这个 phenomenal world 里面
你不可以给他骗去
对，
他不能够 like deceive you 抓你去take you for a ride like before. No more already. It's just like the Japanese. They talk to you moshi moshi, moshi moshi. Everything is the way it is. No problem. So when you have the Dhamma understanding and you stay with the pure awareness nature, it's so tranquil, so still. Nothing, no movement, nothing. But when the thought come in through delusion, it stir, it react, it become emotional, and it become like got problem already. How did it manifest? Through Sakayaditi. Self-delusion. That's why when you cannot see that nature, you really become deluded. You have avijja, ignorant. That's why avijja is the greatest delusion. And it is karmically related. With avijja, the karmic law manifests, that it follows. And it creates all the suffering and misery and affliction within the conscious phenomenal world. That's why the conscious being, through its consciousness and wrong view and delusion, get lost and entangled within. That's why suffering is a reality, the first noble truth of dukkha. It is so real. And it is like manifesting within existence, everywhere, prevalence of suffering. Without Dhamma, living beings suffer. The karmic law continue to manifest and entangle living beings. Because of that, there is war, there is conflict, there is misunderstanding, there is nature's disaster. And many things will unfold. Today the topic is very good. You must listen. Okay, Alicia, 给你 continue.
Radio, 我刚才听了一下刚才你share的那个楞严经的，他有讲到那个我们的 thought。他有讲到说我们不要怕那个 thought， 不要 try to get away， and then 就说要看到它怎么样来，然后要了解它。对，还有就是 他说我们所有的所谓的我们想要 achieve 的都是我们的 delusion 来的。
对对。Even the concept of a cultivator is a delusion. 修行词也是一个幻想来的 created by the thought. Of course, we use the word cultivator all the way, but that one is not a being. That one is the fine aggregate of form and mind. That one need to realize itself and cease. Then only it can return. That's why the concept of a enlightened being is also a thought manifesting. But the one that has awakened, they know. He know you, he know me. That one is just the vehicle and tool for them to come, to go through the karmic process, to go through life, existence, to live, to fulfill their vow and do whatever that the form and mind is capable of arising. So all this understanding will unfold. In fact, all the example that they give is very meaningful and very good, but not every one of it is like perfectly correct. If you have the understanding, then some of the words may not be that precise or accurate, but no harm. Most of it is okay, because when you understand already, when you awaken and realize already, then all this is no more an issue. That's why the longer version, I was not keen to do anything, because that one, it can create more confusion, because that Mandarin expression is, I think, not bad already. The one who do it is quite good, but not all the word that he use or they use is precise. I use the word precise in the sense that when you have the understanding and the awakening, that there is still something that need to refine. They need to refine upon to develop the understanding. But never mind, just let it be. And no harm for cultivator to listen. Well, when you listen, you will understand one. Well, what is important is they give you a lot of example of what that thing is, so that through the example you can have clearer understanding of what that thing is. It's just like when I teach the essential Dhamma, I approach it from many approaches, so that every approach that I go in and proclaim the teaching, you can develop clearer understanding. Then when all this add up, it's like the complete picture can be seen. Otherwise, it's just like one aspect. Then cultivator of the way or living being is very strange, but they are not ready, and most of them cannot see it so fast, so clearly. So they need a lot of example, I realize, for them to maybe stabilize their understanding. Then one day when they are ready, then they will awaken. And when they awaken, they will develop the understanding. So not an issue at all. Okay, Alicia, 给你 summarize 3-4个 minute。
讲什么？哦，还有就是不是就该到的那个 seeing consciousness 那个 seeing consciousness， when 我们看东西，然后我们的那个所谓的第六那个然后我们 manifest 那个从我们的 memory 啪就出来那个
对
那个 perception 的其实很多时候都不对的，我觉得
对，
就是我觉得我看到很多东西都是
all the manifestation of the perception before they become enlightened, before they have the Dhamma understanding, is all wrong perception one.
对
that one is really egoic and deluded one.
它只是一个 memory 里面啪这样子。
对，because 是你的习惯嘛。 那个 habitual tendency all those things, your views, your opinion, your conditioning. That's why 那个很难 root out one. Even that 正言法师 of this 慈济 she also in her book she put a habitual tendency, very difficult to break and root out.
Brother Dio, 感恩 Brother Dio 今天的 sharing，我会重听，因为我觉得我很期待，因为我很期待楞严经的 sharing。
对对对，
因为我不知道，我对这个楞严经是特别的
特别有兴趣，因为它帮你很多，let you develop a lot of understanding. In fact, 楞严经 is a very unique sutra. That's why this sutra once disappear, then the Dhamma ending age, the Mara will have a lot of power. But this sutra actually explain a lot of things. The 50 Divan Samadhi, all the psychic, the manifestation, they are not the real Samadhi. They are not the real practice, the real cultivation. So this sutra is very meaningful and very powerful in that sense. It actually root out the cultivator's delusion and misconception. And the Deviant Samadhi is really very important. Because a lot of meditators, also called cultivator, they are caught in the meditative experience. They got fantastic mind state. It's like they enlightened, awakening. It's like fantastic mind state that manifests from that deep samadhi, or what we call dhyan, energy field, samatha, especially jhanas and all these things. So all these mind states are actually your aggregate manifesting it out. Still mind make are they. They are still within the field of thought. And Krishnamurti call it paper tiger. Looks like very fierce, very interesting, but they are actually made of paper. Made of paper means what? The wisdom light that shine on it will burn it. That's all. Because the wisdom light can see it clearly. It's made of paper, no reality. And all these are illusionary. That's why mind make a day creation. From the four circle formation, they manifest as the third and fourth circle. It's not what you think. So all these are very beautiful description. Then they also teach you at the very beginning how to break Ananda's delusion. Where Ananda cling on to our mundane mind, believing that mundane mind with the perception, sankhara, activity, thinking and emotion, that is his true mind. That's why the Buddha keep on asking, where is your mind? And he cannot answer. And he try to come out with the explanation. My mind is inside my body. My mind is outside my body. My mind is in between. And all those that he say is not having the ability to realize that that is the mundane mind, dependent, originating, condition arising, no permanent, unchanging entity. So how can it be your true nature? It cannot. These are mind-made manifestation. They come and they go. They have the characteristic of anicca, dukkha, anatta. Okay, very good. We better end. So sadhu to Alicia for the good sharing and the condition. Then hopefully all Kayamita can go back and listen to it again when the video is out, when Sui managed to edit through and create that thing. Then listen to it attentively, it will help you develop a lot of understanding. So from now onward, I think the understanding of it will become more and more meaningful, more and more beautiful, and more Kayamita will progress. Okay, we end and we do the sharing of merits. Let us rejoice. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, we will go through the closing puja. Akasata cha bhumata deva naga mahindika punyang tang anumoditva cirang rakantu loka sasana etta vata camehi sampadan punya sampadan sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya idang menya tinang hotu sugita hontunya tayo idang menya tinang hotu sugita hontunya tayo idang menya tinang hotu sugita hontunya tayo devo asatu kalina sasa sampati hetu cha fito bhavatu loko cha Raja bhavatu dhammiko imina punyang kamina mame bala samagamo satang samagamo hotu yawa nivana patiya sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, they all can now pay respect mindfully to Lord Buddha, Kuan Yin Bodhisattva, and all the worthy ones. Then we end. Sadhu.